What is the difference between a single, an EP, or an album? What is the purpose of each one? And while we're at it, what does an EP even stand for? If you've asked yourself questions like these, then keep watching, because we're gonna define single, EP, and album so that you can make the right choice for your next musical project. Let's blast off and get started. JM in your universe. Konnichiwa friends, I'm Jonathan Miller and welcome back to Jonathan Miller Music, helping you become a better indie artist. I make futuristic and outer space inspired dance pop music, and every Wednesday on this channel I'm helping others take their music to level 2. If that sounds good, consider subscribing and ringing the notification bell. If not, okay, stay confused. I mean, to each their own, but I'm just saying clarity is nice. And also, not feeling alone in this industry is kind of nice too. But if you want to navigate it all by your lonesome like I did, then go right ahead. But I'm here to help every Wednesday if you subscribe. Just saying. Think about that. So when it comes to releasing music, you've probably heard your favorite artists say things like, "My new single is coming out Friday," or
"My new EP is out now."
And while on the surface you can tell that clearly new music is being released, do you actually know what each of those things are? Well, there's a reason that singles, EPs, and albums all exist. So let's discuss each of them, what they are, how they're different, and if they're relevant in today's market. Let's start with albums and then branch out. Albums. An album is a collection of recordings by an artist, issued as a single item either on a CD, a vinyl record, or other medium. They must consist of at least 7 songs and total at least 25 minutes in runtime. Now, the average length of an album is about 10 to 12 songs long, although there are plenty of examples where longer albums exist. I've been on both sides of the equation myself, with my album The Space Between consisting of 9 songs and my album 5 containing 15. Sometimes bonus tracks are included on an album as a special bonus for marketing reasons. For example, it's common practice to add bonus tracks for international albums in Japan because oftentimes importing an album from, let's say, the US into Japan is actually cheaper than buying the album natively in Japan. So that's why bonus tracks are included on Japanese presses of albums as kind of an incentive to buy natively. And while we're on the topic, I've actually touched on this in a few videos in the past, but yes, albums are still relevant. I know there's a huge discussion about it in the music industry right now, but I'll say it here like I've said in videos past. I've actually surveyed my entire fan base directly, and 100% of them said they still prefer listening to albums to just standalone singles. So yeah, I think they're still relevant, but I know a lot of people disagree with me because of cost effectiveness, which brings me to our next section, EPs. An EP, which stands for extended play, is much shorter than an album. It's typically between 4 to 6 songs long, but has a maximum runtime of 30 minutes. No more. The average length of an EP is about 3 songs, and these usually feature one main promotional single, as well as a few additional tracks to either showcase the artist's range or depth. EPs are typically made because they are much more cost effective than an album. EPs take much shorter time to make than an album, and you can see a return on your investment a lot quicker than you can with an album. Now, in the Korean pop music industry, EPs are typically labeled as mini albums because A, that's basically what they are. And B, it's also more of a familiar term for people than EP, which can confuse people. I know from my own experience that when I released my EP Utopia, I had to answer what an EP was like a million times. I actually called it a mini album as well, and I had far fewer questions to answer, so I think K-pop is on to something. Singles. Now, singles are where things get a little tricky. Did you know that a single can actually be more than one song? Yeah, a single can actually be one release containing up to 3 tracks that don't exceed a total runtime of 10 minutes. This is why sometimes you see artists say, "Check out my new single XYZ," and then when you get to iTunes or Spotify, there's like a couple extra tracks on it. And it's like, whoo, yay, a bonus. Now, I will say that this isn't really as common anymore due to distribution fees for getting your single on Spotify or Apple Music. Usually you have to pay the same distribution fee for a single as you do for an album if your single contains more than one song. So it ends up being more cost effective for labels or artists to just release 2 separate singles that each contain one song, rather than paying a full album distribution fee for only distributing 1 or 2 songs. So, turns out the word single isn't just another term for a new song being released. It's an actual body of work that just nowadays typically only contains one song. Learn something new every day. So to review, an album is at least 7 songs with a minimum of 25 minutes in runtime. An EP is anywhere between 4 to 6 songs with a maximum runtime of 30 minutes. And a single is 1 to 3 songs with a maximum runtime of 10 minutes. I hope this clarification helps you out so you can make the right decision for what your next musical project is going to be. So go forth and enjoy the creative process. So that is the difference between a single, an EP, and an album. Question of the video, do you prefer albums or EPs or singles more? I personally prefer albums. But what about you? Leave me a comment below letting me know. If you want more indie artist tips and tricks, like how to get on the Billboard charts or how to make a low budget music video look really professional, I've put some recommendations in the description below. And if you like me and you like what I do, consider following me on Spotify or joining me on Patreon for all sorts of fun rewards and exclusive content that I don't release anywhere else. But as always, if you enjoyed this video, please leave a like on it and subscribe if you're new. I put out new videos every single Wednesday. Once again, I'm Jonathan Miller, and I will see you next time. See you later.
I am a machine, not a robot, not an operation, electronic